Hello friends, let us now learn some important points in the blood vessels. First we will see the general features and then we will go to the specific diseases. First in the general features, first we will see some important points. First, if you see the arterial wall thickness gradually diminishes smaller and it becomes smaller. Okay, arterial wall thickness gradually diminishes as the vessels become smaller and smaller. The ratio of wall thickness to the lumen diameter increases. That means the wall thickness ratio to the lumen diameter ratio, wall thickness to the lumen diameter ratio will start increasing, allowing these muscular arteries or muscular vessels to exert control over the blood flow and the pressure and the blood pressure. So the walls of the blood vessels mainly constitute three things. So if you see, actually the walls of the blood vessels will contain these things. First, in the endothelium we have an endothelial layer of blood vessel. In the blood vessel it is mainly lined by endothelium, which is the intima, and followed by there is smooth muscle cells are present, followed by it. Okay, these smooth muscle cells contain smooth muscle, this is intima, and followed by muscle layer. Okay, this muscle layer or media, it contains smooth muscle cells with extracellular matrix, which includes elastin, collagen, and glycosaminoglycans are also present. Surrounded by this intima, we have one layer of tissue, connective tissue, which is called as intima, media, and adventitia. So intima contains only one single layer of endothelial cells, which is these endothelial cells are actually resting on the basement membrane. Okay, this intima is demarcated by the media by one more small layer will be there, which is internal elastic lamina. So intima is separated from the media by a small layer of internal elastic lamina. Now if you see the media, this media is the muscle layer, which is well organized, especially if it is arteries. In arteries, this media is well organized. There is concentric layer of smooth muscles are seen, whereas in veins, if you see, these media is haphazardly arranged and it is very thin. And the media of elastic arteries, if you see bigger elastic arteries, the media of these bigger elastic arteries contain high elastin content. They have mainly the elastin content, whereas this elastin content will help the vessels to expand during the systole and to recoil during the diastole. So whenever we start aging and or during our aging, whenever we start to become aging or when we become old age, there will be loss of this elasticity which is present in the aorta or in the larger vessels. So once this elasticity is lost, then the blood vessels will become less compliant, and as a result this will result in raised blood pressure. So in older individuals there is more propensity to develop systolic blood pressure. Then this is about the elastic lamina. Now if you see the muscular arteries, in the muscular arteries there is presence of concentric layer of muscle cells. These muscle cells are very important for vasoconstriction or vasodilatation. Vasoconstriction occurs by the smooth muscle contraction, whereas vasodilatation occurs by the smooth muscle relaxation. So this response will change the size of the lumen and will regulate the blood flow through and the blood pressure. That means if there is vasoconstriction, then the blood vessel will become smaller, the lumen will decrease in size, and as a result this causes decreased blood flow and it increases the blood pressure. Whereas if there is vasodilatation, this increases the size of the lumen and thus increase the blood flow and it will decrease the blood pressure. So this is about muscular arteries. Then if you see the arterioles, we also have small arterioles. These arterioles are the principal points of physiological resistance to blood flow. Since the resistance to fluid flow fluid flow resistance is inverse to the fourth power of the diameter or radius. So as a result, if the diameter increases by 2 times, that means resistance will become almost 16 times, decreases by 16 times, right, 16 fold. So that is important in arterioles because they are mainly seen in resistance, important in resistance. Then we have the external layer, which is the adventitia. In this adventitia, this is external to the media and it is differentiated from the media by external elastic membrane. So if you see, you will have an endothelium, which is, this is the endothelial cells, okay, which is lining on the basement membrane. So this is the basement membrane, and below the basement membrane we have internal elastic lamina. This internal elastic lamina will separate the intima from media, and below the media we have one more elastic lamina which is called as external elastic lamina, and outside this external elastic lamina we have this adventitia. So these are the layers which you see in a blood vessel. Okay, now if you see the examples of the arteries, first and foremost, if you see, we have large arteries. Large or elastic arteries are present. These elastic arteries mainly include the bigger aorta and their branches. We have 3 branches of aorta, which is the left subclavian, we have common carotid and the brachiocephalic. Okay, all these are the bigger arteries, and we also have and this also these elastic arteries also include the iliac arteries, and iliac arteries are also the elastic arteries. These are large and elastic arteries. Then we have the muscular arteries, muscular or medium sized arteries. These muscular and medium sized arteries include, they are the smaller branches of aorta like coronary arteries or renal arteries, which are supplying the kidneys. Then we have smaller arteries. Smaller arteries, these are the arteries with diameter less than 2 millimeters, whereas we have arterioles also with diameter around, we have the arterioles, arterioles are also present. The diameter of arterioles will be around 20 to 100 micrometers in diameter, right. Next we also have capillaries, and in the capillaries the diameter of RBCs in the capillaries is around 7 to 8 micrometers. Okay, diameter of RBCs is 7 to 8 micrometers, and even the diameter of capillaries is also 7 to 8 micrometers. And the in the capillaries they have some pericytes, and see these capillaries, number 1, they have the endothelium just like the other media, arteries, just like other arteries they have endothelium, but they do not have any media. Media is absent in capillaries, and although instead of media there are some small cells called as pericytes are present in the capillaries instead of media. Okay, so these pericytes will resemble the smooth muscle cells which are present normally in other arteries. And the capillaries, if you see, one capillary has just small diameter. This one capillary diameter is smaller than the diameter of arteries, arterioles, or bigger aorta also. But if you see the diameter of all the capillaries in our body, then this will constitute the largest cross sectional area of any vessel in our body, even combined. So arteries will contribute the huge cross sectional areas, and they are low flow rate. The speed of the contents in the arteries is very less. So as a result, because of this low flow rate, they will help in exchange of materials is largely done by the capillaries in our body. Then these capillaries, where are these capillaries maximum present? Maximum, they are present in maximum numbers in those areas where there are highest metabolic rates, like in brain and myocardium. These capillaries are in highest densities in the brain and myocardium. And then if you see the blood from the capillary beds, it flows into the, we have post capillary venules, and from post capillary venules this blood will collectively go into the collecting venules. These collecting venules can be small or medium or large. First they will go into small collecting venules to small veins, and some small veins to, it goes to medium veins, and from medium veins to larger veins, and finally it goes to the vena cava, either superior or inferior vena cava. Okay, so this is how the blood flows. Now if you see the venous circulation, the all this venous circulation will contain almost the two-third of total blood volume in our body is mainly controlled by veins. So these veins also can undergo dilatation or compression. If this is the vein, and if this vein is surrounded by a large tumor, like think that leiomyoma, now this large tumor will compress the vein, and these veins will get compressed. Okay, and thus will cause problems. Okay, so this is about veins. Then if you see all the blood, so the blood from the arteriolar end, these are capillaries, and this is the venule. The important substances like oxygen along with the ions, water, all these will reach the interstitium from the arteriolar ends, and this fluid which reaches the interstitium is called as lymph. And this lymph, okay, some of these important substances are reach back into the veins, but rest of all which is left in the interstitial fluid is drained through specialized vessels which are called as lymphatic channels. So these are important points about the general features of vessels in Robbins. Thank you for watching.